Mets are reportedly eyeing Trevor McGill, yes, the brother of Tyler McGill, as they have recently called alongside the New York Yankees, the Milwaukee Brewers, about the availability of their all-star closer. We're getting into the latest report from Joel Sherman, as you can see on your screen, and what is a very boring start to the winter meetings thus far, with nothing seriously materializing as of yet. Not only as it pertains to the Mets, but also around the league. A lot of reports, rumors, nothing concrete in action so far around the league. And before we fully get into this video, as always, usual orders of business. I appreciate the support. I hope that you all appreciate the, plethora of videos and me trying to keep you all informed of what's happening. But make sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, lower right-hand corner, hover over the icon and subscribe, and check out all the latest content. This will be the third video dropping on my channel. And we also just got off of a almost 2-hour Mets Hot Stove live stream talking about David Stearns and what he might do and how his philosophy might need to change going into this offseason before the next year of the CBA negotiations. But let's get into this report here. It's not going to be a long video breaking this down because I really don't think that this is anything serious. And I don't think at the end of the day, the Brewers are going to even entertain this, right? But you have to take calls, of course. The Brewers have gotten calls from the Mets and the Yankees about Trevor McGill. Yes, the Brewers are also open to moving their starter, their ace, Freddie Peralta, if a suitor is willing to meet their steep price point. So even though Freddie Peralta is a rental, even though I highly doubt the Brewers will extend him the contract offer extension that he's going to want next offseason, they are still holding his value true and really asking for a lot to make this deal happen, which makes sense because Freddie Peralta is one of the better pitchers in baseball, even though he did falter for them in the playoffs objectively. But as it pertains to McGill, because this is a McGill video, this is nothing about Freddie Peralta, although there could be a package in another world where the Brewers package these two players to get the maximum return on their investment. I just don't see it happening, ladies and gentlemen. I really don't see it happening. There is no world where you trade a caliber of a closer that has years of control left and is at a very cheap price point going into year 2 of his arbitration on his contract, where he's valued at only $6.5 million. When you are a win-now team, somehow, some way, with this young, talented core and shuffling of players, losing key pieces, and still putting up one of the better records in baseball. That is not a recipe for success to let go of this type of arm in McGill. It's an electric arm. Fastball, knuckle curveball combination. Fastball is consistently at 100+ miles per hour. A lot of put away stuff with the velocity alone. A lot of good movement on that secondary pitch. Like I said, he's similar to Edwin Diaz in the facet of the electricity in the 2-pitch mix, but that's all he needs. He's a lockdown closer, really, truly. And so this is not by mistake, I don't think, that the Mets are releasing this type of information. They like to keep things close, but teams will also strategically release some reports so that these reporters get their clicks and also make things public and known. And so from the Yankees' perspective, this is something where if it really is a battle between the Mets and the Yankees, no matter if it's for McGill or anybody else, the Yankees do not have the farm system to compete with the Mets for any player that the Mets want, right? But that's not what we're here to talk about. This is not a Mets versus Yankees thing. I don't think that there's any serious interest in the Brewers and also the Mets side for McGill, because you have free agents at the end of the day. Why would you overpay? Because it's going to need to be an overpay. Why would you overpay for a guy like McGill when you can go out there and sign a Suarez and Diaz who are on the same level to the terms that you want? Clearly through negotiation, but still on your terms theoretically. And this is a clear message to Edwin Diaz that the New York Mets are not afraid to pivot, whether it's McGill, whether it's Suarez, whether it's Fairbanks, if he is going to continue to play hardball with the Mets over that 5th year, rather than accepting something of the nature of maybe a higher AAV for the 4 years that the Mets really want him to get down to. Because I think it's a long shot that Edwin Diaz signs a 3-year contract. It's either 4 years or 5 years. And the Mets reportedly do not, at all costs, want to go to that 5th year. And this is the actual contract breakdown if you were curious. Like I said, in 2026, this offseason, going into arbitration year 2. And so, his estimated payroll hit is going to be $6.5 million. And he also has another arbitration year before he fully hits unrestricted free agency. So that's about 2 years of control left on McGill's contract. He's already 32 years old. So he's going to be in the same situation that Robert Suarez is in right now when he actually does end up hitting free agency at age 34. Like I mentioned, I will always take McGill. I don't think David Stearns is going to overpay, on the price point that the Brewers are probably setting up. And I think that this is a very strategic report from the Mets side to really get things going with Edwin Diaz and show him that they are serious about adding on to a bullpen that now has Devin Williams in the back end. So Mets fans, let me know what you think. Like I mentioned, I know these videos are getting a little bit repetitive. I'm getting a little bit annoyed talking about these reports. I really want things to start to take off and materialize. Even if it's not the New York Mets, just somebody make a move because these winter meetings are pissing me off already, but this is all we have to work with right now. Let me know what you think about this video, about this latest report. Do you think the Mets are serious? Do you think the Brewers are serious in letting this type of arm go, or is it just smoke? We'll see you all in the next video. Continuous offseason coverage right here. Make sure to subscribe and don't miss out. Let's go Mets.